All right, gang, welcome back to our Luxury Tax Challenge here in Mecklenburg. It is now June. We're going to mow the grass today. The grass is ready to mow, and it's in a good spot again. I'm just going ahead and dropping off these here on the edge here, if I can help it, to kind of get these out of the way from the last episode. And, yeah, that's all set up then and good to go. Everything else, for the most part, is in a good spot here. We've got to do a little bit more maintenance stuff, as I would like to call it. We need to put some more water in the greenhouses, etc. But overall, we're in a pretty good spot here. The cows are doing well. There's 15 out of 41 animals in there. Obviously, the food is in a good spot. Their health's at 100%. They should start reproducing here relatively soon, if they haven't done so already. So yeah, they're good. The older ones are at 90%. They're not quite where they need to be at yet. Hopefully next month they can start reproducing. But yeah, they're in a good spot. Not really any concern there with the straw or the food. We can top it up if we want to, but really no major concern there whatsoever. So we can continue to progress with that. Now, a couple things we want to do today. Pay off some of the loan for sure. That's a big one. And maybe buy, whether it's a... well, I guess we got no more digested in there. I thought we still had some in there. I guess we don't. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. Maybe specifically what we would like to do, honestly, is buy the forklift for over by the dairy production, our ice cream production, and maybe buy a harvester or something along those lines for the rest of our fields here. We'll have to kind of see as we move along here. We've got $207,000, which really isn't a ton of money, but it is some money nonetheless. Let's jump into the versatile here. Let's get everything hooked up to the mower here, and we'll go ahead and get started on that. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Man, today was another just brutal day of work. It's just, I feel like I've said this, I know I've said this before, but it feels like a broken record, man. It's just work. It's one day it's okay, and then the next day it's just an absolute disaster, and I don't even know where I'm going. That tells you all you need to know right there about how today was. Yeah, it's just, it's one thing after another. You finally get something resolved, and here comes another issue that is... everything, you have to drop everything. It's an emergency. It needs to be fixed yesterday, right? So, it's a bit of a struggle right now, but we're making it through. So I'm happy to be doing this. This is a much more relaxing, even when it is stressful for certain things, maybe, in comparison to your real life job. I mean, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this as well. I'm sure most of you have the same situation. It, it just can be a struggle sometimes, let's just put it that way. But enough about work. We're here to get some stuff done. Now, the most recent, I guess is what I was trying to say. The newest DLC that's getting ready to come out. At the time of this recording, it should be out, I guess, tomorrow, right? The 4th, it stays the 3rd. We're going to be doing a series on that map. Now, as far as what we're going to do, I'm not 100% positive yet. It's either going to be a continuation of my Barker Family Farm series and where Z, myself, ends up going from that point forward after that series had ended. So if you haven't finished that series, you may want to. Or it'll be some other challenge type of series that will, in the long run, replace this series. Now, like I mentioned, I'm not sure how many more episodes we're going to do on this series. We don't really have a whole lot left to do, but I have mentioned that I do want to do a couple of things before we move on from this series. Specifically, I want to get ourselves a couple of harvesters, the regular harvester we need, plus the harvester for the rice field. I also want to actually harvest the rice field since we spent the effort to put that in there. I do want to harvest that, and then pay off the loan, right? We've got a lot of the loan that's still left to be paid off on, so we do need to focus on that here a bit. I think I will likely spend a good chunk of change today paying off some of that loan. I'm not going to pay all of it off for sure. But you are going to pay off some of it. Not sure how much. I might do $150,000. I really don't know yet. But we are going to spend some money paying that off. It might put us at a bit of a disadvantage to an extent with being able to buy a harvester, or we have to buy one of the cheaper harvesters, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We only have a couple of fields that can actually be harvested right now with a harvester. We can always lease something. We talked about that, but really I want to make sure that, those are the two major things remaining that we need to own. We would need to own on this series. you know, to say that we weren't just leasing everything. We had enough to be actual to run an operation, if you will. Do we have everything we need? No, but we have enough, I think, that we could run an operation if we really wanted to. All right, I'm going to turn the lines on really quick here. Because there's going to be part of this that, you know, we went over perfectly, and then other parts that we did not. Probably going to have to do a little bit of touch-up work from here, from time to time here, like... Prime example is right here. I'm missing a tiny bit. So we can do that when we go around here a second time. But yeah, this series is it took a giant leap when I bought the windmill. It is not making us as much money every month as I actually thought. It's still a good amount of money, don't get me wrong, but it's not as much as I had expected. Now, one thing I'm not positive on, yeah, those are still going, so I guess they're okay. We can knock down some more trees as well, and that will help us get a lot of money to be able to pay some of these things that I'm talking about. Because if we don't knock down a few more trees, quite frankly, we're not going to get to where we need to be, you know, in enough time. And what I mean by that is we're going to have harvests coming up here that will require those harvesters I was just talking about. And, you know, if we don't have some other income coming in here, we're going to run out of money when the time comes, right? We're going to be paying $470,000 on the loan, harvester for the rice, and a regular harvester. All of that combined is probably going to be closer to $750,000, $800,000. So quite a lot of money, honestly. But if we start selling some more wood beams, that produces us quite a lot of money. So, you know, that's really how we're going to make up a little bit of this. Now, if I pay off the loan or start paying towards the loan more, it will definitely shrink the fees that we are incurring. But really, the fees are not that severe. And what I mean by that is that they're really not anything crazy right now. It's only like a couple $1,000s, maybe $3,000, something like that, that we have to pay or that we're incurring as far as interest goes every month. So it's not like it's, you know, if I pay off the loan, all of a sudden we're going to have boatloads more of money, because that's just simply not the case. But it will still help, right? It will still give us a little bit of extra. Now, all of this grass, as far as I'm concerned, is going to go into our silage maker. The reason for that is quite simple. TMR, we still have 200,000 liters of TMR in there right now. We've got plenty of hay in there. We can maybe move some silage over here, sure, if we want to continue to make that TMR, but we really don't need to. So, because of that reason alone, we're going to just basically turn it all into silage and then turn it all into selling, which it's already doing. And then that digestate will help us be able to, you know, offset here a little bit of the liquid fertilizer that is required for those hydroponic greenhouses to continue. Now, we do have strawberries being sent over here, as you can see, which is fantastic. That's another reason why we haven't made as much money, is because we turned one of those greenhouses off of auto-selling and on to distributing. More specifically, distributing for our strawberry ice cream. And, yeah, so that's, you know, so we're not making as much money because of that reason month over month. Rather, we're going to make more money in the long run. But right now we are not, due to that reason, because I turned one of those greenhouses off of that approach of just auto-selling the lettuce. But I think it's a good thing, right? In the long run, we're going to make more money. Now, again, we've talked about this a bit, but just bear with me for a minute. I'm going to bring it up one more time. You know, you could argue, well, I probably shouldn't even really be selling or accepting any of the money from the, you know, the ice cream parlor, right? And to an extent, you are correct to that statement. You are correct. I probably shouldn't be. But I'm the one that spent all the money on it. I'm the one that put all the effort into it. I'm the one that's putting the milk over there and everything else. So we're going to take the money, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Let's see, what else? What else can we talk about? What else do I need to talk about, I guess is what I should say. I'm not sure I have much else to talk about. I think it really is going to depend on the... we'll kind of go back to the new DLC that's coming out, the Highlands Fishing DLC. I haven't... I'm going to be fully transparent with you. I've watched a couple of trailers on it, but I really haven't watched anything on it. So I'm really going to be kind of going into this DLC blind, which is, well, I was going to say it's not something I normally do, but I would say it actually is more often than I might think that I go in blind. Certainly I have the knowledge of the trailers, right? But other than that, I really don't. So what I'm trying to get at is when I see the map a little bit more, and what I mean by a little bit more is I'm able to actually explore the map a little bit more on my own. That will give me a better idea of, is this a series, or is this a map that I want to start or continue Z's adventure, Z's story, whatever I decide to call it, his series? Do I want to continue that on this map, or is this a map I want to run some kind of a challenge on? I don't know the answer to that. And we've talked about the Vintage Survival series for quite a while. That series is going to be coming to a close soon, but this series, the series specifically we're working on right now, the Luxury Tax Challenge, will be ending before the Vintage Survival series ends. And really, the reason why I'm waiting is because I want to see that map a little bit more, and that's going to tell me what I'm going to do, right? Put more simply, if it's a map that I decide I want to do, you know, a continuation of Z's story on, well, I might want to go ahead and end the Vintage series then at that point and start a brand new challenge series. If it's not something I want to do with Z's story on, it's not a map I want to consider doing that on, we will probably do some kind of a challenge on it. Now, what challenge, I don't know yet. My members got a bit of a sneak peek at some of the ideas that I've been thinking about. Now, I didn't really go into detail on that, but in the October members series, I kind of discussed in detail some of the ideas that I have on paper. Not all of them, but it was probably about 10 or so, I think, that I listed of ideas. I've got probably another 10 more on paper that needs some more work defined before I feel like sharing those, but it's something I'm working towards, right? So we will see. There is going to be another challenge that will take the place of this, not including, but not limiting, the one-tile multiplayer challenge series that we're trying to work out, potentially. I don't know when that will happen, and like I mentioned, that is likely going to be a once-a-week type of series, just based solely on, you know, availability for everyone to get together to record. And there's no ETA or anything like that for that series yet. It will be coming soon enough, but there's no ETA. Maybe it starts next week. Maybe it starts a month from now. Maybe it starts next year. I don't know. It is coming. Well, hopefully it's not next year, but it is coming. We're just trying to work out all the logistics a little bit here more and see exactly who's going to be taking the challenge on against me. So that's going to be interesting. I've watched quite a few of those type of series, but I've never actually done one myself. I don't expect that I will win. I think I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to mention it again briefly, so just bear with me for a moment. I just don't expect that I will win, because a lot of the times I'm not as methodically advanced with my speed, knowledge of speed, of how fast to get the game done. I'm more of a let's do some different challenges, and I want to do them my way, whether that's too slow for some people or too fast for some people, who knows. That's, you know, my personal preference, right? And so I think this type of a challenge, I might struggle a little bit, just trying to figure out ways to go about this as fast as I can to make as much money as I can to try to win, because I am competitive, and by nature I'm a very competitive person, sports-wise, you know, just in general. I like competition, I like the competitiveness, so I think it might bring out the best of me, but at the same time I think I might not be as polished as I should be, and meaning I may not be as fast as the others, and may put me at a disadvantage right off the bat. But who knows? I could be wrong on all of this. I might just be talking gibberish here to you, but that's, you know, that's where I'm at right now. That's where I think it's going to happen, but we will see. We will see. Either way, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to probably modify the rules a bit. You know, if we don't, that series is going to run for a very, very long time. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but with if we're only going to be doing it once a week, maybe every once in a blue moon, twice a week, you know, we're going to have to modify the rules a bit to make it, you know, keep the longevity of it going without it being, you know, such a stretch to actually succeed, that it's going to take a whole year or something like that, right? Maybe it will, but you know, I'm thinking maybe somewhere along the lines of we would run, I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong in this statement, but I was thinking somewhere, you know, like the 20 episode range, something like that, which is a long time. You know, that's a long time. Who knows? We'll see. All of that still has to be figured out, but really we need to figure out if this is even going to be possible with the guys, and specifically I'm talking about Crustu and Rusty Money Gaming. Those are the two that I'm specifically talking about running this challenge series with. If they decide they don't want to do it, that's perfectly fine. I'll see if I can find anyone else that might be willing to take it up. From the group of us that have been doing a lot of challenges with each other and sharing different challenges, taking on each other's challenges and stuff like that. I think that's what I would like to do initially, just because, you know, we've all become pretty good, relatively online good friends, I guess, over the years we've been doing this. So, and I've been very blessed that my channel has taken off as much as it has. So definitely want to try to incorporate some of those guys, because they were there in my early stages of starting this farming channel for me. So definitely want to, you know, I don't know if give back's the right word, but I want to incorporate them as much as I possibly can. They're always there to give me insights as well, right? If I have some ideas, some thoughts and questions, and they're always there to help assist. Same with my buddy Northern Farm Sim, but right now pretty sure right now he is still pretty heavily focused with his kids. I know he's got kids in there. They're doing some sports. I think the motocross type of stuff, and so a lot of the times he's gone for a period of time. He's still getting some videos out, but they're not on a daily basis. And I would love to do a series with him at some point down the future. But I don't think he can muster it right now. I could be wrong. If he's watching this, apologize if you can do it. You're welcome. You are 100% welcome to be on board. All right, the mowing is done. We've got to bale all this up, and then obviously come back over here and pick it all up. I'm going to do a little something different here like I normally do. I'm just going to try to pull a little bit more of this weeded grass out and try to pick that up a little bit. Not that it's going to really make a huge difference, but, you know, every little bit counts. All right. So we'll put this away. We'll go grab the baler. We're going to get to baling. We'll get them all picked up. We'll bring them over here, drop them off, and then probably look at maybe knocking down a tree or two if we can help it. I might want to think about buying a winch. As a matter of fact, I probably will. I just the thing that we bought for the what's it? I don't even remember what they call it now. The skid steer. I'm just going to call it skid steer. It's basically what it is. Am I facing the right way for this? I am. I just don't like the wood for it. It's not big enough for these massive trees. These trees we have here are gigantic. They're behemoths. And it's just not quite big enough. So, yeah, we're going to probably have to buy a winch, I think. Which maybe at that point will probably be a little bit closer to being able to buy the forklift that we would need for our dairy, right? That's something we really probably should have on the highest list, honestly, for us, just based solely on the fact that, you know, we are certainly making some ice cream, but we're not making any of the honey ice cream yet, right? And we put all those honey hives down. in the last episode. So it's definitely something we should, you know, at least consider to be pretty high up on our list. Probably even higher, not even probably, higher than any of our harvesters, because we really don't have anything to harvest yet. We will very soon, but we don't have anything to harvest yet. So I think some of those fields are going to be ready next month, I think. Yeah, I think some of those are going to be ready next month. So maybe slightly below the highest priority for us. Maybe slightly below it. I don't know. I'm tempted to. The thing you hear about this is, if I spend any money today, whether that's on paying the loan back, buying the forklift, whatever, we're gonna have very little money and probably not enough money to buy a harvester next month. And ideally, I think we should probably focus on getting that harvester for next month, so that way I don't have to lease one. Not that leasing is that expensive, but we just kind of talked about it for, you know, in depth about, you know, why we want to get that and the reason why I have it on my list to do. So, yeah. But you never know. There might be a harvester in the used market next month, which would be ideal if we could find one in the used market. I think that would help us out tremendously as far as saving a bit of funds. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Either way, for now, let's get the grass all picked up here. It's going to take a couple of times here to go around the headlands, and then we can do our traditional up and downs. And I'll be back with you after that. Okay, well, I was going to put these over here, and then I had a change of mind, mostly because there's so many of them still sitting out here, it would just be overkill. We're just going to put these up against the edge, like we have our straw bales. We talked about putting down a shed over there, and I still think we're going to do that somewhere at the end, probably. Not right now. But before I forget, because I always seem to forget, we need to flood this field, so we don't lose any of that rice crop. We desperately want every bit out of that because of how expensive it is. Now, what I think I might end up doing here, which might be a little weird, I might move our sawmill. Instead of actually buying the winch, I might just get rid of the sawmill we currently have and, well, as I said, sell it. Why? I just think it's going to be easier than having to, even if I tried to winch them, I think we're going to get stuck on some stuff over here. We've kind of put a lot of things over in this vicinity. So, I think it might be to my benefit to go ahead and move it over here. Oh, and once again, we had the issue again with that baler where it won't unload those grass bales. Very, very weird why it continues to do that. Not really sure I can explain it. I don't understand it, but you know, it's fine. We'll get through it one way or another. We'll get through it. So let's see. Yeah, I think we should. Let's do a quick autosave. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it off in time here, but I'm going to move the wood chips onto auto-selling here. Oh, actually, there's no wood chips in there. I can't auto-sell the wood chips, can I? Okay, I've got to unload those. That's fine. So we're going to unload those. Now, we're not going to get the best price out of these wood chips, and there's not a ton in there, so that's okay. But we'll get that taken care of between now and... well, we're gonna sell the wood chips now, and then whatever we make from the new moved sawmill location, you know, we can keep those and sell those later on, I guess. But who knows if we're gonna be doing an episode by the time the December comes around or not, or January, whatever it is, the best to sell those. Either way, I don't think the wood chips can be stored in the silo. I could be incorrect in that statement. I don't think they can be. Pretty positive they can't. I guess we could attempt it. There's only 2,000 here. I'm just going to sell them. It's not even worth our time, in my opinion. I'm just going to sell them. Now, we've got some touch-up work still to do. I've talked about doing quite a few things on this series, and we haven't done some of those yet, so we still have some touch-up work we need to do, and we will do that. We've got plenty of time to do that. I'm just trying to get everything kind of in a good spot here, prepped at least, I guess I should say, for the things we have coming up, which is quite a lot, right? With the harvests and everything that are going to be here any minute. So let's find another sawmill here. I'm going to do the auto one again. That was pretty nice, where it just automatically drops them in there without having to hit anything. I think I'm going to put it... No, I'm kind of tempted to put it here, which is in a weird spot. I know it's kind of in the way of everything. But then I can get rid of this tree, and probably this tree all in one swoop. I might be able to do it just like right here. Alright, it's there. It's not very expensive. That's 10 grand. Let's sell this. And we want them on... I'm going to put them on storing. Yeah, let's put them on storing. We're going to turn the wood beams on. And let's get these things knocked down and hopefully into the sawmill here. Easily. Like I said, I'm going to keep this one here by the power wash zone. But these over here on this side, they're going to go away just to help expand the yard a little bit more. Are we going to really need that yard expanded a lot more? I don't know. Probably not. But we're going to utilize these trees anyway because they're worth a lot of money and... something we specifically need right now, right? Now, I think I'm going to buy... I think I've made a decision while we were doing that time lapse. I think I'm going to buy... I'm going to buy the forklift today. We should make enough money off these trees to be able to buy the harvesters we need. So I think I'm going to buy the forklift, and I think I'm going to pay off part of the loan today. I'm not sure how much of the loan I'll pay off. Might be 50,000, might be 70, I don't know. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, it's not going to fall. Alright, well, we'll just have to give it a little push. Little push. There it goes. Perfect. Now this one might be a little bit of a stretch. Don't know. Maybe it'll go over there. Maybe it won't. We're going to find out, though. Now, these things are gigantic, as we've seen, right? We've normally only been putting 1 or 2 in per episode. We're going to be putting 3 in here, so it's going to have an absolute monstrous amount of wood to chew through, which is going to produce a lot of money. As you saw, when we had those wood beam pallets and we would sell them, we were making an absolute killing. I might even turn them onto auto selling. We know that the price doesn't fluctuate all that much. It's a couple $100, but instead of dealing with the whole process of stacking them, we've been doing that for a while here. I think we might just go ahead and put them on auto selling. Saves us a little bit of time, right? And these trees do not like to fall down by themselves. I am going to have to give this one a little push as well. And I was afraid that it was going to be a little bit too short, and it was. As far as too short, meaning it was not going to reach where we needed it to go. Now, this one might be a bit of a struggle to get in there. I just drove right through that branch. Maybe it can't... No, there's no way. I was going to say, maybe it can't hold anymore. No, there's no way. 250,000, there's no way. But now we should have enough room that we can get, you know, a little bit more oomph to it. There we go. Perfect. Now, this one might be a bit of a struggle as well, just based on the fact that I've got the baler kind of here, and it might get stuck up on this. I hope it doesn't, but it might. Now we've got some twigs over there in the far right corner, which clearly you can see. We need to go ahead and move those over there as well, which I can probably do that by hand, or we can utilize the attachment there for the teleskid. That's the name I was trying to think of earlier that I couldn't think of. And it's not going to produce that much more for us, but it's just been sitting there. We should clean it up. I've talked about that for a couple of episodes now, so I really should do it. And we are in the same boat. I really thought that was going to reach, and it did not. Interesting. There we go. Perfect. All right. So those trees are in there. Now, we got to get rid of these stumps, but they're in here nonetheless. That's almost, well, 39,000, almost just slightly over 39,000 liters of wood in there. So that's going to produce a lot of wood beams for us, which is going to be great, right? Some good money for us. So we'll go back and put this away, and then let's take a look at the forklifts again. I did not install any other mods. I probably could find a cheaper one out there, more than likely. But yeah. Let's just, let's take a look here again. Forklifts, here we go. So yeah, I think I'm just going to buy this 55,000 one. I don't think we're going to need any more than that. Let's just go ahead and buy it. That is for the park. Pretty much the park is now taken care of in my eyes, no matter what we do. Add a little bit of grass here and there, like I said, maybe a few other minor details, but mostly that is now taken care of. That also takes care of anything that we would have potentially purchased last episode and this one by far. And covers that. So that's good. So that is done. I want to pay some of the loan off. Now, I don't know. I'm tempted to pay 70,000 off, but that's going to put us under 100,000. Not that there's anything wrong with getting us under 100,000, but I mentioned already we've got some things to pay for next month, but we will have the wood beams. I think we'll be okay. So we're going to repay 70,000. It'll put us down to 400,000. Still a lot. That's still a lot to pay off. But I think I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there without any major issues here. It might be one more episode than what I might have initially stated, but I think we're going to get there no problem. With that, though, we are going to leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smashed the like and the subscribe button for me on the case you've yet to do so. Both those things help me out an absolute ton. Evidently, this is electric. I did not realize that, but that's okay. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Try to get this set for a worker here if I can do it. Thank you so much to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are absolutely the best. And, yeah, we're going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed it, man. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your continued support. It really does mean the world to me that you continue to support and watch. Target unreachable. Okay. Let's try this again. A little bonus material here of me trying to figure out how to get this thing to work properly. Target unreachable. Why is it saying target is unreachable? Okay, so why don't we just try going here then? Okay, I guess I got to do it myself. For whatever reason, it does not think we can reach it there. But I can do this off camera. You do not need to specifically watch me do this. But yeah, thanks so much to my members. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Look out for upcoming series. I'm excited to see this DLC. We will see where we go. Whether we're going to go with a continuation of Z's story, full transparency. If we do go that approach, the story that we're going to do and make up is not anything directly related to my real life or any experience that I had, like the Barker Family Farm series was. That one 100% had multiple things that were exact replica of what I experienced, and I tried the best I could to make that map look like the farm that my family had owned as well. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me rant on for a little bit here towards the end. And yeah, we'll see you next time.